foam roller or a yoga block or just a pillow. You can totally do it without it, but you might want to just use it for comfort at one point. So if you want to grab that, we'll get started here in about 30 seconds, see if anybody else is coming in. Okay, let's get started. I'm Emma, and this is Pilates at the JCC. So let's get started with a couple of stretches. So you're going to want to sit in kind of a loose crisscross applesauce. So it doesn't have to be cranked up real close. Just get it kind of a loose crisscross. And then put your hands on your knees and use it to help you kind of pull up nice and tall and proud. The idea being that that breastbone has kind of got a string on it that's lifting up a little bit, let your waist kind of cinch in. And then you're going to hold on to your knees and just curl yourself back. And you're going to hold on to those knees and just kind of sink into that and hang on. Get a little stretch in your back. And then come on back up on top of your sits bones. And again, lift the breastbone up to get nice and tall and lifted. And then curl back. Now you're behind your sits bones. You're just kind of hanging into it, rounding your back. Let's do a couple more. And then up nice and tall and lifted. And round back. Might as well take a nice inhale into your back while you're hanging this time. And exhale as you lift up. And one more like that. Curl back, and then take a nice deep inhale. And exhale as you lift up. Nice. Let's take your, let's have you do your left hand. So put your left hand on your right knee. And now let's do that same curl. Let's put the left hand, I'm sorry, the right hand down and push into it. So you get a little bit of a rib cage shift. You can also do it like this, with the left arm up over and use the right hand to push into that rib cage so it kind of shifts out. This one just gives you a little bit more of a twist with the stretch. Good, and then come on up. Let's go to the other side. So put your left hand down. Your right hand can go up and over while you push into this opposite hand to let that rib cage open, or you can hold on and do a little more of a twist here. Still trying to open up that ribs and side back. Do one more each side. You can start like this if you want, pushing the opposite hand, or you can go right into holding onto the knee. Try both, I guess, if it feels good. Breathing into that side rib cage and come up, and then push and stretch, and grab and twist, twist, twist. Good. Now let's just do a quick foot melt. So you take your right foot, cross it over your leg, and again, if it's, if you want to grab like a yoga block and set it there, that's also one way you can do it. And let's just start with the light kind of waking the foot up. Now take your hand as if you're kind of breaking crusty bread, and you're just going to bend the foot over the top. You can do that twice. And then approach it from the bottom of the foot. So now you're kind of breaking the bread the other way. Good. Hold on to your heel like you're turning a doorknob. Just give it a little twist. Good. Now let's do some toe work here. So hold your big toe and your Tootsie Roll toe. Just do a little alternating. Splitting them, split, split, split. Good, now separate them. And as you separate them, kind of pull them away and give them a little wiggle. Some blood going in there. Good, now move to your Tootsie Roll toe and your middle toe. And switch them back and forth. And then split them, separate them like you're making a little peace sign, and then pull them and give them a little shake. Good, now middle toe and ring toe. And then separate them and pull. And then the last ones here, the ring toe and the little piggy. Split them this way, then try separating them and then pull them a little wiggle. Good, let's switch feet. So start with just kind of a light clap. Or I really get you to do as hard as you want, really. And then starting at the top of the foot, that breaking bread sensation there, just kind of smooth that out. Feel like you're bending the foot. And then go at it from the bottom. Hold that heel like you're turning a doorknob. A little twist. Good. And then the toes. Grab the big toe and the Tootsie Roll toe and split them opposite directions. And then separate them and pull them apart, pull them up a little bit, give a little wiggle, and then move to the next two toes. Split them and lift and wiggle. And the last two toes. Lift and wiggle. All right, good, good, good. All right, let's lay on down. I'm going to go sideways and I'll go forward as I need to kind of show you some of the positions of the foot we're going to do. So laying down, if you have a yoga block, if you have a pillow, if you have a roller, you can put that under your neck for support. If you want to do a little bit more, get a little bit more ab workout out of this, then just keep your head flat on the mat. It does tend to cause people to kind of kink their neck up, or it kind of goes into their lower back a little bit, so kind of adjust as needed. So we're going to start with our footwork, and it starts with heels together, toes apart. Yep, heels together, toes apart, and again, a little high wedge there. The arms are pressed into the mat, and the belly scooped up, and you're just going to try to press out to about 45 degrees. And press out, and then drag it in. The knees will go about as wide as the armpits. Do two more. Now go into knees together, and let's start with the toes really pulled back so the heels are pressing out. So press on out and try to bring the knees in as far as you can without letting them split open. So bring them back as far as you can, as long as the knees kind of stay glued together. Press out, feel like the heels are touching the wall and you're trying to make sure the toes don't, and then drag back in. Let's do two more like that, and we'll add a little something more with the feet. Good, so keep the same foot flexion here, but try to bend your toes. So the heels are going to stay pushed out, but you're going to have a little toe action going on there. Like they're trying to hold on to a branch. And press on out with the heels and the toes curl. This is surprisingly difficult to do and surprisingly straining on the feet. If you get a foot cramp, obviously stop. But try to do it as much as you can. This is kind of a good stretch and it's a good workout for the bottom of the foot. And one more. Then bring your knees in. Hold on for a second. So the last one we're going to do, we've done parallel with the knees. We've done turn out where the tops of the thighs are turned out. And now we need to do internal rotation. This is the one that always gets everyone's heads all askew. So let me turn this way so you can see what it looks like. So we've done parallel, we've done turned out, now we need to do internal rotation. So from this angle, we need to internally rotate the legs, and that makes them look like this. Like you're wearing a tight pencil skirt, and you're trying to separate your feet, but your legs are kind of glued together there. Then you're going to press out The knees will separate, the big toes will touch. Then the knees will come back together, the feet will go wide. Press out, big toes touch, knees separate, knees come back together, feet go wide. Try a couple more. And this is usually pretty tough on the hips. So do one more, and then we're going to turn it into a combo platter. So from here, do the pulling in, and then turn it out and press out. Almost like a swimming motion. It's the lobster frog combo. Last one. And bring your knees in, lower your head down. Turn your head side to side. And then you can put that yoga block off to the side for now. And let's do a few roll-ups, just in case the back's not ready for 100% yet. Let's do the first couple. Your legs will be together, with a 3/4 bend instead of straight. So let's bring the arms up to the ceiling, pull up the shoulders down. Take an inhale through your nose. And as you exhale through your mouth, start curling up and still trying to round. So you won't come all the way up. You're going to try to round, round, round. And then keep that rounded action as you curl down. And you can let the arms go back for a little stretch if you want to start. Make sure the arms come back up, the ribs close. Take an inhale through the nose. And start exhaling through the mouth as you curl on up. And stretch forward. And then curl back down. If your back's warm enough now, you can try with your legs straight, knee flex. If your back's still a little tighter, it's just not feeling it today, you can certainly keep the bent knees. Inhale, exhale, trying to push through that sticky spot so you don't jerk yourself up. And a nice stretch separating the shoulder blades. And then curl down. Let's do 2 more. And last one. And lower down. Let's take a second and traction your neck. So you're going to lace your fingers behind your head with the edges of your pinkies along the ridge of your skull, your thumbs kind of pressing into your shoulders. And you're just going to pull that neck long. By doing that, I'll just show you with this one side. It's going to drop my chin down to my chest, but lengthen through the back of the neck. So just get a little traction in there, and then you can try a little turning side to side. See if when you do that, if it starts kinking the neck back up. See how tight you are as you move from side to side, and then take the moment and lengthen it again if you need to. Good, so keep the back of that neck long. Let's bring your right knee into your chest. Hold on to it. Let's do a couple of bend and straighten. So start with maybe your hands kind of loosely holding the side of the leg, and try a little bend and straighten. Getting the leg as straight as you can. Then maybe bring it a little closer and try a few more bend and straighten. You're basically looking for the spot that you can get as close to you as possible, but the leg is straight. You have to kind of adjust that depending on your flexibility. Good, now hold it up in your wherever spot you're in your is straightest and closest as you can get. Do a little turn out. I'll be doing it with the frog. Arms go down to the side. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can have the arms up to the ceiling. And let's do the leg circles. So pull the leg across the body, up, down, and around, trying not to move. If you flex your left foot, you can see if it's wobbling like that, you're probably rocking and rolling the hips. And then let's switch. Reverse it. Bring the knee in and slide it down the mat. And let's go for the left leg. Pulling it in, doing a little flex, and now get loosened up, kind of find a start spot, I guess, a little bit farther away, and do a few bend and straighten. See if this side is more flexible or maybe a little tighter than the other side. And then work on kind of bringing in an inch or so and trying to and then find your spot where it's as straight as you can get it and as close as you can get it, and then turn that thigh out. Arms can go here or up to the ceiling, pull across, up, down, and around. And reverse it, go out, pull it across. Keep trying to keep that leg turned out so that the inner thigh is kind of shining to the ceiling as it crosses over the midline. And bring the knees in. Good, holding on to that knee, let's rock out up to a seated position. Then move down to the end of your mat and roll like a ball. So to get into your shape, you get nice and tall and lifted. The arms wrap around here. And then pull your feet as close to your butt as you can get. And then lift up and balance. And let's just start a slow rock. Just that 1-inch rock. And you should notice if your body's doing a lot of this. You're trying to get locked into a shape, and you're not adjusting your back or your hips once you're in that shape. And then if you want to stay right here and keep working that, by all means. If you want to go a little bit more, you can roll down the tips of the shoulder blades, come up and balance. Try to keep that lower abs from rocking and rolling and doing this. A couple more. Last one. And then roll up. Bring your knees into your chest. All right, let's do the stomach series. So, curl your head and shoulders up. And remember, you're really trying to keep, on this particular exercise, you're trying to lengthen the leg away, but you're also trying to make sure you're not rocking from side to side. So it's not like this, where you're kind of reaching across and grabbing on. You're trying to keep it really streamlined. So the legs are really hugging the energy in the midline of the body and stretching that leg that's going away. Really lengthen through the quad. One more set. Bring the knees in, lower the head down. In between, you can do a little side to side. You can take your hands really quick and lengthen the back of the neck, and whatever you need to do. Okay, and next is the double leg stretch. And we'll kind of do that newer way we've been doing it that I like. It helps us find the shape easier. So curl yourself up. You're in a kind of a tight ball here. And you're going to press the legs out, and you're going to hold onto the back of the legs with your hands. So as you press the legs out, you're going to hold on. Now try to keep everything scooped. Just let go of the hands. Bring them up and around. And again, press on out. We're going to Pilates stance here, holding the back of the legs. Let go. Try to hold everything there. Bring the arms up and around. Try not to let the upper body curl down at all. Press out. Hold the hands. Up and around. Let's do 2 more. Inhale as you press out. Let go. Arms come up. Exhale everything around. Last time. Press out. Let go. Arms come up and around. Nice. Okay, the next in the stomach series is the scissors. Let's do 2 sets of slow scissors so we can get a back stretch as well. And similarly to the single leg stretch, you're trying not to rock from side to side. So extend the legs up to the ceiling, grab on the back legs and pull yourself up a little bit if you like. And then you're going to grab onto that right leg as close to the ankle as you can and as straight as you can. And then just kind of hang off of that. Feel like you're pushing that right leg away so it helps you kind of give you a hang in your back. And then switch to the left leg and give it a little hang. Trying to get this as flat as you can get it. Switch one more time. And last time on the left. Good. And let's do a set of 10 nice fast up to tempo. So pulse and pulse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring the knees in, lower down. So for the lower lift, Let's use that pelvic kind of support there behind the sacrum. So make kind of a triangle-ishy kind of thing here with your hands, and that's going to go right underneath your sacrum. So your thumbs are pointing up toward the waistband of your pants, and the pointer finger is kind of pointing down toward your feet, and your elbows can kind of rest on the mat. Be careful as you rest the elbows down that it doesn't kind of force your belly open or force your rib cage open. So if you need to hold them up, you can do that. Bring the knees into your chest, extend them up. Take an inhale, lower the feet down, and point to lift. Let's flex to lower, point to lift. Keep steady pressure on your fingers the whole time. If you notice that you have pressure on your thumbs and your pointer finger on the way down, but only on your thumbs on the way up, try to keep that pelvis from rocking back. 2 more. Last one. And bend the knees in. Pull those fingers out, hands out there. A little squeeze, get a little blood squeezed out of them. And we'll do the traditional crisscross to finish up the stomach series. And again, in a perfect world, both shoulder blades would be off the mat. It's a hard thing to accomplish. Sometimes our backs just aren't flexible enough. Sometimes our abs aren't strong enough. But one thing you want to work on, regardless of how much you're able to curl up, is, again, the not rocking from side to side. So that's been kind of our theme tonight, right? So we're not going to just roll from side to side. So let's put your hands behind your thighs, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Push your legs forward as you hold on, so it gives you a little bit of lift to start. And then see if you can hold that lift and take the hands out. And then you're going to twist and inhale, twist. Think about curling up higher in the center and twist. And you're not doing this, right? So get nice and lifted here. Let's do maybe 2 more sets. And bring the knees in and lower down. Nice. Let's bring the feet down to the mat. I guess fairly close to your bottom, just not the point where it's bothering your knees. Let's do a quick shoulder bridge here for a stretch. So tuck your tailbone underneath you. And this way you will feel the tailbone lift up and the lower back press in. And then as you curl up, feel the energy pushing over the tops of your thighs. Try to get a nice hip flexor stretch there. And then sink just below your throat, sink into the floor, and then one vertebrae at a time. Keep pushing the hips up so you get a nice stretch here, and also through your lower and middle back. Let's bring the arms up over the head for an additional stretch this time. So curl on up, pushing the thighs forward, trying to get those hip flexors as flat as you can. And then stretch your arms up over your head and feel like the wrists are going to stay right where they are on the floor as you melt down. You're pushing the hips up, and it should give you a nice stretch through that upper back as well. Good, let's do one more. Tuck underneath, pushing the energy forward over the tops of the thighs. Getting everything nice and flat. My arms did drag back a little bit, so I'm going to try to stretch them as far away as I can and try to keep them there to maximize that stretch through my upper back while I work the stretch through my middle and lower back as I curl down. Nice. Let's bring your knees into your chest. We'll rock side to side. And then we'll rock out of seated position for a little spine stretch forward. So we'll do 2 versions of the spine stretch forward tonight. We'll do the round and the flat back version. So to start, let's get nice and tall and lifted. And it almost, if you want to really get the abs kind of lifted into this, so you're lifting up, but maybe just a smidge, lean back a little bit. That kind of fires up the abs a little bit, and it kind of prevents you from kind of tilting forward too much. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, feel like you're lifting up and over a big medicine ball, and you stretch your fingertips toward the midline between your toes. And then come all up back and lift it. And once you've lifted on those two sit bones, do that tiny bit of lean back. So you're not collapsing here. You're just lean back a little bit to fire up the front of the abs. And again, inhale and exhale, up and over. And then come on up. One more time. Lift up and exhale forward. And then lift up. Now this time, let's put your arms down for a second. Let's pretend like you have a little string right here in the breastbone, and it's pulling you forward. So it's going to be a flat back. So again, your feet are about mat width apart. You got that string on your chest, and let it pull you forward. How far forward can you go? And then put your hands on the ground and let it pull you forward a little bit more. And then let yourself just roll down and come up. And again, get pulled forward, forward, forward as far as you can. Put your hands down, pull a little bit more, flex your feet, get a little bit hamstring stretch. And then you can just kind of let it roll you up. One more time, lift, pull forward, round your back, and come up. Nice. Let's come onto your stomach. So I may have to do some of this. I may have to talk to do some of this because I'm not sure you'll be able to hear me if my face is on the mat, but let's give it a go anyway. So you're going to lay on down. You're going to hand over hand, pull your forehead on your hands. Think about maybe putting your forehead kind of near the hairline so that you can keep that back of the neck as long as possible. And let's pigeon toe the feet. So you got all 10 toes. And just to start, just do a little rock. Side to side. Just let that pelvic bowl get a little stretch there. Good. Now, and again, I'm going to turn my head so you can hear me. Let's keep your back of your neck long, but let's scoop your belly. And then let it relax into the mat. Let's scoop your belly. And it won't be something that, I mean, you can't, I mean, you can maybe see it on me a little bit when I lift up. You can see my back flatten out a little bit. But you want to pretend like it's a big belt buckle, and you're trying to keep that pocket of air so that your belt buckle doesn't smush into the mat. And relax. Try to do it this time and make sure you're not clenching your butt cheeks when you do it. Lift up, good. Now, your butt will probably get involved in this, but what's really critical about the lower lift on this with the head is that you keep that belt buckle up off the floor, because we're trying to do an extension of your upper back, middle back. If you let your belly button or you let the belt buckle squish into the floor, that's just crunching it down into your lower back, and that's not an area that's not really extension. That's just kind of crunching the lower vertebrae. Okay, so head on hands, scoop the belly, keep that pocket of air, float the elbows up, and then try to bring the head and hands up. And do you have your pocket of air? And we'll lower down. And again, scoop up. Lift the elbows, and then the head and hands, keeping that pocket of air, lower down if the pocket of air is getting smaller, and lower down. Good, this time let's add a little something to it. So scoop your belly, lift the elbows up, lift the head and hands, bring the arms out to an airplane, bring them behind you. That should give you a little bit more ability to lift. Bring it back out to airplane, back underneath your head, and lower down. Okay, so scoop your belly, float the elbows, head and hands, out to airplane, pull back alongside the hips, get it a little bit lifted. Now try to keep that lift with your belly pulled up, with the arms come out, underneath the head, and lower down. Let's do one more. Again, all 10 toes are still touching the floor, don't let them lift up. So scoop the belly, float the elbows, the head and hands, out to airplane, back to T, airplane again, under the head, and lower down. This is good. Come on onto your forearms. And you're going to want to put the hands, you can do them kind of straight, you can round them out. Whatever you're doing, you want to have fists So you're activating the arms and you're trying to pull yourself forward. Legs are strong and straight behind you. The belt buckle is pulled up, which is a little bit easier from this angle because you're already propped up. And you're going to try to get that foot, we're going to do the single leg kicks. And you're going to try to get your heels close to your butt as you can without letting your butt pop up. So you're going to bring kick, kick, and kick, kick. And you're going to try to do it without popping up that hip. See the hip pop up? So try to keep pressing the pubic bone down, keeping the flat hip flexors down, and kick, kick, and down, and kick, kick. You can do a point, or you can try a flex. Keep the belly lifted. Do 2 more sets of whatever pointed or flex you want. Good. And lower down. And just turn toward the camera, I guess. Put your cheek down. And let's go hand over hand on the small of your back. And let's roll the elbows down. Good. Now, again, trying to avoid popping your butt up. You're going to try to bring both heels to your butt for a 3 kick. So kick, kick, kick without doing kick, kick, kick and lifting your butt up. Kick, kick, kick. Feet go back down to the mat. And the head lifts and the arms stretch back like you were doing before. And then lower down into the opposite cheek. Walk the hands up. Roll the elbows down, keeping the pubic bone pushed in, the belly lifted, bend and kick, 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 and then lift those hands. You can hold on to your hands if you want kind of a deeper stretch in your shoulders. Sometimes I find for me, if I grab the hands and clasp them, it almost forces my belly into the mat. So for me, that doesn't work. But if you get a better stretch and you can keep your belly scooped, go for it. And let's do 1 more set on each side. Kick, kick, kick. Toes go into the floor, leave them on the floor as you lift up. And lower down the opposite way. And kick, kick, kick. And lift up, trying to keep the back of the neck long. And lower down. Nice. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Push on up to all 4s. Let's do a little stretch. So we'll do a Pilates stretch and then we'll do the gyro stretch. So start with your back flat and your heels and your hands are right under your shoulders, knees are pretty much under your hip bones. And let's make it an active stretch. So push the floor away as you separate, as you arch up your back and breathe into the back of the rib cage. Good. Now feel like you're pulling your hands back as you lift up and try to press that breastbone where you had that string earlier, but that pull forward, and then push the floor away. And then feel like you're pulling the mat towards you. You push your breastbone between your biceps. 1 more time. Push the floor away. Arch up, inhale, inhale, inhale. So you can't take any more. And pull the mat back, pushing the breastbone forward. Good. Now let's more of a linear stretch, I guess. Let's make it a little bit more of a gyro stretch, which is a little bit rounder. So start the same way. Push up into your back. So you're kind of pretending that you're inside of a peanut butter jar, and you're trying to scrape out the inside of the jar. So push your back up into the jar, and now stick your ribs out to the right. Scrape down, let your belly sink toward the floor, and then rib goes out to the left, and all the way up, and then reverse it. Go out to the left, and let the belly stretch to the floor, out to the side, and up. One of the weird things that people do in this a lot is they bend their arms. See if you can do it with your arms straight. So arch up, ribs go out to the side, and let the belly come all the way down, out to the side, nice stretch, and all the way up. And last time, reverse it out to the left, down, out to the right, and lift up. Nice. So let's walk your hands forward a couple of inches here. Open up your knees, I guess, a little bit. You put your heels together. Drop onto your heels, and then drop your head into a child's pose for a little stretch. You can open up, make sure your knees are open up enough that you can get your rib cage in. Good. And then swing the arms down around by your ankles, letting your shoulders round the floor. And then pull your belly away from the tops of your thighs. Try to curl yourself up. Nice. Let's do one more seated before we get to our side work. And let's do a little spine twist. So, let's start with your legs straight in front of you. Your big toe knuckles will touch, but there'll be about an inch space between your heels. That should keep you kind of in true alignment. And the feet can be flexed here. That'll just help you make sure you're not twisting onto your hip. The arms come up to the ceiling, get nice and tall and lifted. Bring the arms down directly to your side, and then just twist the whole shape of the upper body to your right. And then back to center, lift the arms up, get nice and tall and lifted. Then turn the palms out and down, and should get lifted here. And try not to let this happen, right? Take the whole rib cage as you turn. And then back to center. Watch your feet on this next one. Get nice and tall and lifted. Bring the arms down. Feel like you're lifting up. And as you twist, see if your feet are doing this. Keep it in the rib cage, in the waist. Back to center. And then lift and twist the last time to your left. You can let your eyes look back to the backhand, but try not to have a whole twisting action with the arms. And back to center. Nice. Okay, let's do some leg work. So, position your mat if you can, so we can just kind of flip from side to side. And let's start on your left side. And instead of laying all the way down, now if you have a bad shoulder, you won't be able to, this might be difficult. But we're just gonna stay up on the elbow, because I wanna make sure we have a little bit of activation in the lower body. It's just a little bit harder to find it when you're laying down. So, again, you find yourself straight, legs come off here, and you want to feel like you're pulling this mat underneath you, right? You're pulling that elbow underneath you. That'll open that shoulder up. And keep a little bit more activation here on this side. Good. And all you're going to do is have your hips stacked. You're just going to lift the leg up, point it down. Flex, lift, point lower. Flex, lift, point lower. One more. Good, now reverse it. So you're gonna lift, point, flex the foot, try to get that heel farther out than the toe is, and then lower. Point, lift, can't really do it of course, but that's what you're feeling, trying to get that length to the side. Point, lift, flex, lower, lift, lower. Next time let's just hold it up here at the top, and let's go forward and back. Forward and back, pulling that left elbow underneath you. Last one, leave the leg back here, flex the foot, and let's do heel circles. And reverse. Keep pulling that left elbow underneath you. Good. Let's bring the leg forward now. Let's just lay down for this last part. You can have your arm all the way down, of course. And let's have your legs stacked here. And let's just do a lifting up of the leg and lowering, okay? I want you to feel like both knees are against the wall, and you're just gonna keep that knee against the wall as you lift up and down. Trying to keep everything in alignment so you're not opening the knee or lifting the foot. Try to keep the whole thing like this big tray resting here. Pushing that right knee forward as you lift up. Last one. But now, drop the leg, the heels are going to glue together and lift up a little bit, and now you will have that turnout, little clam. Keep pushing that right hip forward as you open the knee. Last one, hold it open and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and punchy, punchy. Good, and now let's just flip on over. So now you get up on your right elbow. Again, you're trying to get that sensation of, so you're not like this kind of collapsed into the floor, but you're pulling that elbow underneath you. So it opens up that shoulder and gives you a little bit of activation in the right side of your rib cage there. And then bring the feet forward. And let's start with a flex lift, point lower. One more on this. Good. Now, point lift, push that heel out further down. Point and try to get the heel farther up than the toe was. Last one, hold it up, and let's go forward and back. Pulling that right arm underneath you. Hold it back there, flex the foot, and let's do heel circles. And reverse. Good, lay on down. Bring the knees towards you to a 90-degree angle. And make sure the knees are lined up, so that your hips are stacked. The knees are against an imaginary wall. And let's just lift the whole leg up and down. Keep pushing that left knee forward. As you lift it up, push it away so the hips stay stacked and it kind of really drives it into your butt. 2 more here. Lower the leg down. Heels will move together, float up a little bit, and then open and close. Pushing that left hip forward. You're not rolling back like that. And now hold it open and pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Punchy, punchy. Good. Let's roll onto your back and do a figure 4 stretch. So start with the feet flat. The hips are even. And try to keep the hips even as that right ankle comes up and settles onto the left knee. So try to avoid letting the leg come up and all of a sudden it torques up that left side. I'm exaggerating, but try to see if you can keep the weight evenly across the back of the hips. And maybe put your left hand on your hip and your right hand on your knee and kind of push them apart for a nice stretch. If you want to go a little deeper, pull that left leg in. And then tilt your weight a little bit to your left. That'll give it a nice stretch from the back of your butt cheek. And then let's switch sides. So again, start with both feet down, get even weight on your hips, and then put that left ankle onto right knee, and see if you can keep that right hip down. You want to grab behind that leg, go for that. And then try to, it automatically kind of pulls you to your left when you do that. So have it just tilt that a little bit more to your right. Good, and then unpretzel your legs. All right, let's do a couple of teasers, and let's start with the knees pretty far apart, and we're just going to do the upper body part of the teaser. So get the arms level with your ears. Remember, this is all closing down here. Keep the feet pretty far away, and you're going to kind of float up into your teaser. So you're not all the way up here. Remember, you're still kind of behind your sits bones. and then melt away. Do one more like that. Curl on up. Find that lift in the chest. Lower the pelvis of the ladle on the bottom here though. And lower down. Let's bring the knees into tabletop. Arms go back, and then let's press on up into a teaser. If you can, you can keep the legs in tabletop if you like. Bring everything back down. Inhale, exhale up. Let's have everything go down to the floor here. And if you want to bring your knees in, you can. Otherwise, let's do one from the floor. Curl on up. And lower down. Nice. Bring your knees into your chest. Do a little side to side. Do a little happy baby if that feels good. And holding on to your knees, rock back and forth, and come on to a seated position. And we're going to finish standing, so come on to a standing position. Let's do a little ankle flexibility. So your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. You're going to bend over onto your knees here. And we're going to work the ankles. So let me do this so you can see. Okay. So you're going to tilt over to your left, so you're on the outside of your left foot and the inside of your right foot, and then go forward onto the balls of the feet, then over to the edge of your right foot and the inside of your left foot, and then straight up and down. So you're going to go to the left, forward, to the right, and up. To the left, forward, to the right, up. One more time this direction. And then reverse it. So go to the right, go forward, to the left, and up. Working the whole range, trying to work. I remember I broke my ankle, so my left is a little bit weaker, so it's a little bit more challenging on my left side. But trying to get a full range of motion one more time. Good, good, good. And let's stand, heels together, toes apart. Good, and let's get nice and tall and lifted here. And let's inhale up. Press the arms and feel like you're lifting yourself up, 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 up to the ceiling. And now this time as you lift the arms up, keep the heels glued together as you float on up. Arms go out and exhale down. Inhale up, pressing, crushing the heels together. Keep the height of your head here and just press the heels down. Keep your height and continue to walk tall the rest of the evening. Thank you for spending your time with me.